I'm Kal Stein. I'm the chair of the Benevity Nonprofit Community Council, which is a brand new entity formed by Benevity to incorporate the voices of the nonprofit community and how it interacts with corporations and their employees. Well, I've been involved in workplace giving for about 30 plus years at the federated level, the charity level. So it's been a passion of mine is helping people in workplaces. I like the intersection of workplaces and charity and making philanthropists out of people in the work world has been a long time passion. And having been in the business a long time, I'm real interested to see the evolution of it from pledge cards and United Way dominating the system to now an open system that allows designations, that encourages people to really know more about nonprofits, get more engaged with nonprofits. It's really a very exciting time because we're on the tip of a real revolution of how people raise money and how people interact with charities and their employer. Well, I've been in the workplace giving world for about 30 years, and I've seen the evolution of it from United Way only, pledge cards, and we'll figure out where the money goes, to an employee-driven, donor-driven system where everybody's designations are honored. People can give to their charity their choice wherever they want, and it's a tremendous revolution. It takes out all the costly, sort of redundant functions out of charitable giving, and it really puts the effort into where it should be, which is helping get people more engaged with making their communities better and solving problems in conjunction with their employers and charities. Well, I think they've already, the thing that the providers like Benevity have brought to the table is ease of use. So they've made a clunky system for things like matching gifts, for volunteerism, for even donation giving. Pledge cards were a clunky system. People had to fill them in, they had to go to a centralized place, they had to be recorded, there were errors, they had to be corrected, and it just didn't make a whole lot of sense. You can get people to enter the data, enter it up front through a pledge system. First of all, you're much more efficient, but you also have much more chance to really be engaging with people, to send them a video, to allow them to go to a watchdog group to check out what the charity's efficiencies are, what their programs are. They can do it comfortably, they can do it with full knowledge. So it really empowers individuals, and as much as anything, that's the era we live in, is people are empowered. Everybody's their own brand, everybody's also their own foundation. So we can all be philanthropists and we can all be community problem solvers. And the beauty is it doesn't have to fit in anybody's box. It can be, you can do a little national work here, a little local work there, you can be involved as a volunteer, you can be involved as a giver. It's your choice. And that's so you have to meet people where they are. Well, I hope it's consolidation, because I think the nonprofit sector could really use some consolidation. There's really too much overlap of charities doing a lot of the same work, and you just hear this over and over again. So I think for efficiency's sake, it would be good to see the nonprofit world do more consolidation. I'm not sure it will go that way, because it actually seems to be going almost the other way of more diversity, more options, more choices. But I think that puts a lot of pressure on the charity world to prove impact, to prove efficiency, to prove stability. So I think the charity world is really being hit with a couple of forces: the need to demonstrate impact, the need to demonstrate accountability. The old days of we just give you a couple of $1,000 and you do what you want with it are really long gone. And so it's an era of much more scrutiny. There's more cynicism about what charities do, but there's also much more spirit about what can be accomplished with charities. So it's a bit of a dual world. The technology can help with that, but then you get much more demand for things like impact, and so it can be hard for many organizations. So we live in a Kiva world, and we live in a world where our donors choose, where people can fund a farmer, they can fund a teacher, and they love that. And that is, I think, where it's going is letting people really feel that they're not just giving to an organization, but they're actually impacting something on the ground that's changing people's lives. And when people feel like they're doing that, then they become really passionate about the process. Fundraising folks need to think about impact and how to communicate impact and how to make that relevant for people. They need to make it easy for people as well. But fundraising is almost always an education communication issue. And so, The challenge is always to continue to communicate. I'd say probably the biggest challenge they have is some of the more multiple audiences. You have many different kinds of donors now. There's more segmentation. There's more and more of a move to treat some donors differently than other donors, to steward some differently. That requires real expertise. So I think just like companies are becoming more data-driven, charities are becoming more data-driven, and that's impacting their operations and how they do fundraising as well as many other things. I'm passionate about corporate philanthropy because it's the power to change the world. When you're partnering with world-class companies like Google and Microsoft and Apple, you're starting to approach a scale and ability to do things across sectors, across continents literally, that's just unparalleled. And so, matching the resources of corporations with the passion of their employees, with the needs of the charitable sector and the beneficiaries at the end of it is an incredible opportunity to really make a better world for all of us. I'd say the biggest change I've seen in the last 10 years or maybe 15 or so is corporate social responsibility didn't even exist. It wasn't even a term back then, and now everybody has to have it. And it's a wonderful change because it means first of all we make a better world, but it also means we make a better workplace. Because what you get with that is you get people that are much more connected, much more engaged with their employer. We all want to feel like we're doing something a little more than just making a living. And when people feel like they're doing something more than just making a living, but they're actually making a difference, now you've got real alignment between the company, the charity world, and the employee.